and paper real quick. I want to show you a 5-step formula that's working really well to help you come up with the perfect SaaS landing page. By the way, sorry for the slides, but I just want to make the presentation perfect. This is very important, and I don't really want to miss anything. I'll wait a second so you can grab a pen. Imagine this scenario. What if you could have a predictable way to come up with landing pages? What if you knew exactly what to put on your page and what just not to include? A formula that helps you get the exact words to use on your page. Also, and so effective that you can use it with every landing page you want to create in the future. Sounds like a stretch. That's what I thought until I started using the exact same formula with 100% of my clients and always with great results. In the past few years, I've helped SaaS companies anywhere between multiple 6 figures and multiple 8 figures redesign their pages for conversions. Something that explains the product so well that the website sells the product for itself. I'll share that entire formula step by step in this video. Everyone knows that landing pages can sell SaaS products if you do them right. And in order to do them right, you need a proven formula. In fact, if your landing pages are acquiring some customers, but it's still not getting the results you want, it probably has nothing to do with the way they look. And it has nothing to do with the features you explain, or the fancy illustrations you have, or the copy your team spent ages trying to perfect. Because at the end of the day, it's not how the website looks or even how it reads. It's all in how the visitor perceives the value of the product. And there's a formula for doing it right. Here it is, along with some real examples from my clients. Step 1, pattern interrupt. Let's face it, attention spans are at an all-time low. You have around 5 seconds to get their attention. And if you don't, all of your efforts of converting a visitor were in vain, even if you explain the product perfectly on the rest of the page. So here's how to fix it. You ask them a question. That's it. You just ask them a question. Why? Because when you do, the brain is forced to answer it, and you'll grab their attention. And when you have their attention, everything is much easier. The potential customer will read more of your page. They will pay more attention to your explanation. They might even want to learn more until they get a free trial or a demo. Could you see the potential of this step alone? We're creating a mental frame and making your product seem perfect for them. That's the kind of attention grabbing that gets people to convert. So how can you find these ideal questions? You can use proven formulas for headlines and just fill in the blank. You can use copywriting formulas like who else wants X benefits, or the classic who want to get like core benefits without this core problem. And you can find many more online if you just search for copywriting formulas for headlines or something similar. So here's an example from my client. Who else wants to recover 21% of abandoned carts? 21%, that's the average recovery rate we get from our clients. No additional monthly fees, no time required on your end, and no email used. As you can see, like I'm showing the core benefit here because this is like a company that helps e-commerce companies recover abandoned carts. I'm saying like 21%, which is a ridiculous number for them. And I'm also saying like you get the benefits without the problem, which would be more monthly fees, required time on their end, and emails, which is what they're currently using. So they have no idea how you can get these results, and they really forced to scroll down and learn more. This is also perfect for pricing pages to anchor the price before they see it. And just for some context, this is like a SaaS product in the education niche to help people get better ACT scores. So in this case, I just used on the pricing page how much is a great education worth. I could also use how much is a great ACT score worth, because once they look at the price, they think, oh, but because I'm getting like a better ACT score, I'm getting into a better college, I might get a scholarship, then this is worth way more than the price. Step 2 is introduce the problem. No one does this because it's unbelievable. introducing the problem is in every sales page, copywriting, or ad formula ever, but SaaS companies never use it for some reason. Yet this is the most important step. Why? There are two really big reasons. One is because SaaS products are purchased based on fairly rational decisions that involve fixing a problem. And just think about it. If they don't feel like your product solves their problem, why should they convert? Why should they pay for it? Trust me, they won't. If you remind them of how painful their problem is, they are way more likely to take action in order to fix it by signing up for your product. You can easily add this to your website by answering questions like, what's the cause of the problem? You can see, like, this is from the same example of the abandoned carts one, where people are using emails to convert abandoned carts. And then this explains the problems with emails, like the inboxes are crowded and you can't really get to them. And people have questions that emails can't really answer. And then you can say, like, why can't they fix it themselves? And in this case, I just show, like, this company creates custom training based on the performance, and you can't really do that because it has to be done with AI. Otherwise, you can really do that manually. And what's the cost of not fixing it? This is really good to anchor your price before you show it. In this case, you can see the abandoned car company again with how much it's really costing them. Like, you can see, like, this is a case study from a client that they get like 7% with email, and with text they got 21%. And this is how much it's costing them because they're getting like way less conversions and way less orders. This really sets the stage of what your product could do and makes people way more likely to pay attention and think of your product as the solution they need. And step 3 is positioning your product as the perfect solution. Now that you explain their problem, you want to frame your product as a solution, like the ideal solution. To do this, we just need to reverse the way you explain the product. And if you explain that, for example, bad emails were their problem, you just need to explain how your tool helps them write better converting emails. Here's an example. So if you look at the example from the previous slides, you can see, like, one of the problems was that people had questions about their order, like, will it get to me by Tuesday? Does it work with my iPhone? Stuff like that. And then during the explanation, I wrote that they text them manually to see why they completed the purchase. Then I even answer additional questions like how many people actually replied to the test and how does that work and everything and stuff like that. So pretty much I'm reversing their problem and explaining specifically how that of the solution, how the product fixes that problem, so they really picture how they can use them. Step 4 is social proof. People don't like to be lonely, especially when buying. They want to see people like them getting the results before they even consider converting. Have you spotted the key here? The key is having testimonials from people like them in specific. Not from John, not from Jenny or Thomas. They want from John the designer, or Jenny the CEO, or Thomas the product manager. People need to be able to relate to the testimonials you have. They need to feel that people very similar to them are getting results. And because people very similar to them are getting results, they just picture, hey, if they can get results, then I can get results too. Here's a pro tip. Ideally, for the best results, you should mention the problem they both face and the result they both want in the testimonials. Actually, this is the French version of one of the landing pages because I didn't have a screenshot of the English version. But you can see, like, if I just translate this roughly, these restaurants were not getting any leads from Google search and stuff like that, and now they're getting like 2 or 3 every week, and they getting like a ton of reviews and everything. So I'm showing like the problem they were having and the result they want. So it's the best of both worlds to make the testimonials as effective as possible. Testimonials around the lines of highly recommended or love this tool won't really do the trick. Without these 2 requirements, your social proof has pretty much no value. Step 5 is the CTAs. Now that you explained the products pretty well and people are convinced they can get a lot of value out of it, you'll need to make them take action. Without a proper way to take action, they still won't convert. Yes, they might think your product provides a lot of value, but they might also delay their decision for some reason. And lack of urgency always kills the sale. For this, you need call to actions at the end of your page too, not only at the beginning. Those CTAs will have two functions, and you'll need one for each of them, so two CTAs essentially. One is convert people that are pretty much ready to buy. Like, let's say they want a free trial, they want a demo, or they just want to purchase right away. And two is provide an alternative for those who could convert days or even weeks later, but not right now. And this ones need to be a lower commitments and often something more high touch to answer their questions. Here are a few examples. It could be a demo, it could be a chat widget, it could be a case study, a lead magnet, a blog post, whatever. It's lower commitment, but can still convince them to convert long term. Most people will not be ready to convert right now, regardless of how good your page is. And that's why you need the option to, like, the lower commitment alternative. In fact, I found that that's around 70% of your potential customers, and you can really see the real example in the buyer's journey, that that you can confirm that this is around 70% of people. So how important is converting most of the people, like the ones at 70%? There are probably 70% of your potential customers. And there's even more to this, because you need to be critical of which CTA you should use. You need to choose if you'll have a demo, a free trial, a contact form, and the other building ways to do it. Here's how you can figure it out. Is this call to action what they would expect to see? Is this something they have seen from your competitors? Like, this could be a good or a bad thing, because maybe they found yours easier, or they found your competitors easier. Like, it could go both ways. Is the call to action appropriate regarding the price of the product? If it's a high ticket product, you should probably use a high touch call to action, and the other way around for low ticket products, as they most likely need a low touch approach. Does it enable them to make the decision to purchase? My point is, after you convince people your product is awesome, make it easy to convert. And that's about it for this formula. That's the 5-step formula for the perfect SaaS landing page. I've used it with all my client projects, and it works really, really well. But there's a huge problem with it. What if you use the right formula, but you didn't define the right content? What if the formula is only 20% of the magic? What if you mentioned the wrong problems? What if you talked about the wrong benefits? What if your message, well delivered, is targeting the wrong person? If you fail at any of these, it's not going to work well, and you might not even convert at all. But I can help you with that. I can help you identify the core reasons why people buy, what you should explain on your website, and how to position your product for maximum revenue and conversions. You see, if you have a process to analyze the right data points, you'll have the insights you need to define the right message. No, it's not with fancy analytics, not with vague assumptions, and definitely not with tens of iterations and trial and error, because that's just a waste of money and time. You see, people already told you what they need, you just weren't listening. All of the answers you'll need are in your frequent questions, common misconceptions, recorded calls with customers, if you have them, and a ton of other different sources. People leave hints everywhere. You just need to connect the dots and know how to prioritize them. And I can give you two options to get there. Option 1 is to get my book, which is the SaaS landing page blueprint, as it reveals the entire process I use to define these pages in a step-by-step format. It has 6 exercises that you can follow by answering a few simple questions, and if you do, it will automatically tell you what the exact content of your page should be. so it will work right away. You can use it yourself, you can let your designer follow it, or even your marketing person. That's what it is for. To give you a proven process to follow so you can get results without months of trial and error. If you're not yet doing multiple six figures and you don't qualify to be a client, this is the ideal solution for you. You could follow the process yourself or with your team and save a bunch of time and money. How much would that be worth to you? If this is the right option for you, you can get the book below. An option 2 is to call me. In case you want the best results possible and want me to personally help you convert more visitors into customers, you can simply book a time. A free strategy session where we'll find out if, one, we are a good fit to work together in terms of stage, of niche, of scope and everything, and two, if I'm available to work with you. And if not, well, you didn't really lose anything in chatting. Perhaps you even get some insights for your business. But there's a catch. The biggest factor is whether or not if I can help you, but if I'm available to work with you. You see, I get inbound calls from my own website every week, but I can't work with everyone. If you want to at least try to reserve your spots, you should book a time. You can book a time now by clicking the button below. See you on a call.